Hello and welcome to this demonstration video for WordVote in use with the WordPad 2 audience response handset. Now, the WordPad 2 is the only audience response handset on the market with both a QWERTY keyboard and a colour OLED screen. And it can be used with our WordVote software, which is an activity maker for school classrooms. However, we developed WordVote because we wanted the handsets to be able to be used in a business and university setting, and also for those teachers who wanted to use it alongside PowerPoint. Now, this is WordVote software. It's pretty straightforward, really. When we set out to make this, we wanted to make something that's really, really easy to use, and in essence only had 3 kinds of buttons, really. Now, we didn't quite succeed in it, because as you can see, there are 6 here. But we wanted something that allowed you to set up your participant list, first of all, so the people who were in your group or class, then to be able to set up a quiz or ask questions of the audience, and finally then to be able to analyse the results, which is can be done by clicking on the graph there. Now, as you see, there are another 3 buttons. Play and pause, which allows you to stop and start the collecting of votes. Open, which allows you to open sets of questions, and save, which allows you to save them. So pretty straightforward, really. Now, why don't we have a go at making a series of questions? And these questions are delivered in a self-paced way, so they answered on the handset screen rather than relying on the participants having to read them up on the board. And there are 8 different question types in WordVote. So we'll just quickly run through some of those. This is a much greater range of question types than you can find in other audience response systems. So you've got the obvious types of questions. You've got things like multiple choice. Multiple choice allows you to select an answer A, B, C, D, and marks are assigned on the basis of the answer you've selected. You've got as well text entry. This allows you to ask an open question and an answer can be given with an open text response. You've got number scale, so where 0 is crap and 10 is utterly fantastic. How do you feel about X? Checklist, so where you can check all the things that apply. So which of these foods are you allergic to, and you can check a list of them. We've also got accepted answer. This is one of my favourites. So you ask a question, and then the participants type in an answer, but marks are awarded based on the answer that is typed in. We've also got number input, which allows you to put numbers with decimals and the like, very similar to text input. And but with numbers, obviously, using the top row of keys from the keyboard. We've got rank order, so we can say put these objects in our order of size, and you rank them 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And then finally we've got readme, so this is just something which allows us to put a message up on the screen, maybe an instruction. So maybe we'll start by creating a readme, just to say what the objective of our activity is. So I'm going to click on that. And we're going to create a kind of activity which is about the Mars and its place within the solar system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in here the purpose of our presentation, and once I've typed in, I'm going to click on the add key, and that will add our readme to the question series, which you can see appears as a tab up there down at the bottom. Secondly, I'm going to type in a text question to get us thinking about topics. So I'm going to ask us, why should we travel to Mars? And I'm going to add that to the list. And as you can see, another tab too for our second question has appeared at the bottom. So now I'm going to do maybe a little quiz about Mars. So for the first question, I'm going to create a multiple choice. So I'm going to say which of the planets is smaller than Mars. So below this, I can put in A, B, C, D, the answers. I can also say how many choices I want to be selected. So I'm going to assign 2 marks to Mercury because it is smaller than Mars. I think 1 mark to Pluto, even though it's not strictly a planet. I'll give them a mark for effort. Jupiter and Earth, I'm not going to give any marks at all. So our participants will select from that list of answers, and I'm going to add that to the list. Now I'm going to do another one, an accepted answer. So it works in a similar way, except rather than picking from a list, they type in the answer to the question. So what I'm going to ask is, what is it that makes Mars red? And I'm going to award 1 mark if they type in iron, 1 mark if they type in rust, and 2 marks if they type in iron oxide. And you can see it's going to ignore the case or any punctuation or anything, and still assign the marks. So I'm going to add that to my list. And we've got our 4 questions, or rather 3 questions that I'll readme in our list there now. Now, we could just run this as a test on its own, and the questions would appear on our handset screen. However, what we can also do is attach these questions PowerPoint slides. So if I load up PowerPoint, what I'm going to do is create some very, very simple slides to go alongside this. I'm sure yours will be a little fancier, but I'm just going to put up, and I'm going to put on our first slide, we're going to say, okay, this is our lesson about Mars on slide 1. I'm going to create another slide there, which maybe goes along with the open question we were answering about why we should travel to Mars. And I'm going to create a third slide to herald the beginning of our exciting Mars quiz. Okay, so I've got my 3 slides set up. Now I can use these slides to prompt our presentation. So as a lecturer or a business presenter, I can have set up this activity before I've even started. So I'm going to attach these. I'm going to put the README on slide 1. Which says the objective of our class. I'm going to put the open question on slide 2 and our quiz questions both on slide 3. And when I click on done, it then attaches those to those slides. I then can also control how the participants state their name. So we could have it anonymous. They could type in their name, or they could pick their names from a predetermined list that I've supplied or pasted in. But I'm going to ask them to type their names in. And then all I simply have to do is click on play, and it will run the slideshow, and our test will begin. Now you can see at the bottom right hand corner a handset there. So first of all, I've got to type in my name. So I type in my name, and I press the blue submit key in the bottom left hand corner to send my name onto the board, and then I click start to start the activity. And we can see now it's got the README that I typed in appearing on the handset, but I can't move onto the questions 2, 3 and 4 until the presenter clicks on PowerPoint slide, when now the open question about why we should go to Mars appears on my handset screen. I type in the answer to this, and then I press the blue submit key in the bottom left hand corner. There's a space bar in the bottom left and the delete key under the P that allow me to delete or add spaces to my answer. And we can see our multiple choice questions appearing on the handset screen there, which we can scroll down using the blue down key, highlighting in orange, and then select the answer we wish to give. And then we move on to the second question, where we can type in our text answer to the question. So I'm typing in iron oxide to go for the full 2 marks, and I click on the submit key there as well. And now we completed our test. All I do is I click on the graph icon, and it shows our results, which I can share with the whole group. So obviously we haven't got anything on slide 1 because that's our README. If I move to slide 2, we can see why we should go to Mars. I can see Josh suggested that we should go to Mars because there'll be Mars bars there. I can then move on to the next slide, and we can see which planet is smaller than Mars. I can see Jenny said Earth, which got no marks, and Josh said Mercury, which got 2, and we can see a graph of those results as well. And we can cycle through all of the different answers that we've put there and review them with the class. We can also review these in real time dynamically as the results come in if we want. But in most situations, it's more useful to review them afterwards. And when we're done, we can then just export these results to Excel. And we click on OK, and we'll then have an Excel spreadsheet showing the results. If you want to find out more about WordVote and the WordPad 2s, visit our website, getwordwall.com/WordVote.